Z nami Bóg. Remember, no Russian.
Many games contain content that is deeply disturbing. It's almost routine in popular games for players to spray other people with Uzis, to drive over pedestrians, to kill police officers, to attack women, and in some cases, even to engage in cannibalism. We need to treat violent video games the way we treat tobacco, alcohol, and pornography. We know that these products are damaging to children, and we need to give parents the tools to keep them out of kids' hands.
Is she right?
If you put it just really simply,
There's many
these
different
violent video
opinions
games
on
are
games.
stealing the innocence
Here's another
of our
one.
children.
Look, I'm going to get straight to the point. To the people who think that kids do violent, stupid things because of video games, you're idiots. See, I don't think he was playing Grand Theft Auto 4 or that he was rocking fatalities on Mortal Kombat just before doing the violent, stupid things that they did. I play video games with violence in them, running over pedestrians, shooting people. They're games, people. Hello. My parents are very clear at making sure I understand that. If I want to play a game that's not appropriate for me, my parents just don't let me. Open communication about right and wrong. Simple as that.
Yeah, that might be simple. But let's get some more opinions on this.
Gaming can be harmful for some gamers, especially the younger ones. When I play Call of Duty, I notice there's like 12-year-olds playing with me, and that's not right because I don't think they've reached that mature level of them understanding that this is just a video game. I mean, they may be thinking, hey, war's not too bad, this is pretty easy, maybe I'll go into the military. They don't know what is actually happening in real life. They're just thinking that, hey, this is a game, it's cool. Their parents need, if they allow their children to play mature rated games and they're not at that age, they need to, sit down with them and explain to them this is a video game. Real life is nothing like this. This isn't life. It's more of a hobby or something.
Maybe impressionable young minds, maybe they have the coatings on it. I think that each parent should be in charge of their child. If they don't feel that their child's capable of grasping that it's a video game, don't let that child play that video game. If they think their child has got a full grasp of reality and fantasy, then let them play. If it gives them nightmares, don't let them play that game. Let them play the more subdued games. But I think everything's got to boil down to personal responsibility. I don't think a game's going to make anybody go out and hurt anybody. Personal responsibility. You got people that kill people, not games.
If this is true, is it also true that games can't change who you are and how you do things in life?
I was 6 years old. My friend Drew, he brought his Nintendo 64 over. And I didn't have any video games of my own at the time because one of my parents wanted it. So he brought his 64 over. He had the James Bond game, The World Is Not Enough. I loved the Bond movies, and just being able to play as James Bond, taking out the bad guys, was just awesome. And at first I wasn't allowed to play it because my mom thought with guns there'd be blood or anything. Turns out the guy just disappeared, and for about 6 hours after that, all we did was play that one James Bond game. And after just playing that for 6 hours, I know that I wanted to get a game system of myself.
First one that I really got into so far as full force was Atari's Asteroids. Asteroids was 1979, and it was a phenomenon in the arcade. If anybody that's my age or remembers that, is going to definitely say Asteroids. Just looking forward to something, especially in that time frame. We're talking about the later 70s, and me not having a lot of money, so you always look forward to it. So it taught me that if I wanted to do things, that I had to work to do it. So it gave me a good ethic so far as that, because my mom didn't have the money to give to me directly for me to go play these things, and she wouldn't give them to me anyway. So she always taught me that you work and you get things that you want.
The stigma of loner games goes up in smoke with this new study. Researchers found 65% of kids play video games with friends in the room, and when playing online, 70% of kids play with people they know in real life.
And here's an interesting stat, especially for those worried about the influence of violence in video games. Close to 2/3 of kids notice people being mean or aggressive while playing games. But there's good news. 3/4 of teens noticed another player stepping in to ask the aggressor to stop at least some of the time.
The Pew study also looked at games kids play frequently, which could offer some insight into what attracts youth to chilling out in front of a console. The 5 most popular games for American teens are, in order, Guitar Hero, Halo 3, Madden NFL, Solitaire, and Dance Dance Revolution. Looks like it's not all first-person shooters. Kids are stretching out their musical muscle while also going old school with Solitaire, a strategic card game. And some more good news for parents. Kids who had civic gaming experience, ones where they helped other gamers or made ethical decisions during a game, were more likely to give money to charity and stay informed on current events.
But mainly, do games affect people positively or negatively in life?
Games have affected me both positively and negatively. Online games such as Call of Duty, Uncharted, stuff with large online multiplayer. I've met kids around the world who seem the same interest. I have a buddy I keep in contact with who lives in England, another one in Scotland. I have friends all over the United States. Negatively though, it does take up a lot of my time, especially when a new game comes out. I just don't stop playing it, and I get a little sloppy on my schoolwork and social life. I'm a big fan of the TV show Lost, and when they had a video game come out based on the TV show, that was actually, it came out for the Xbox and the PlayStation. I didn't have any of them, so I went out and I bought an Xbox 360 just so I can play this Lost game. Once I got that game, I did not stop playing it. The game took me about 2 days to beat, but I kept going back and forth and going, oh, this is from the show, and I think for about a month I've been doing this for 8 hours a day after school, and I just couldn't stop playing this game because it was based on my favorite TV show, and even though I've beaten it about 5 times a week, I'd just keep going back because it was just awesome.
For me, it's been a lifelong love affair, so I would say that's a positive. I love art, and this is a form of art, and I will always love art. And it's an enjoyment, it's a release, it's a fantasy world that people escape to. The game has a reset. Again, keeping things in context. As long as you realize that you are playing in a fantasy world, this is fantasy. Reality. As long as you are able to keep that in your head, you'll never have a problem.
Overall, games are good and bad, and games like this should not necessarily be shunned by parents if the child has a good, moral, and ethical grasp on life.